Make sure to do both sides when you're trying this out, since it is an asymmetrical pose. Like a half-bound lotus forward fold. Quite a mouthful in English, too. And just a few more moments here. We're going to go into another half forward fold as well.
I was in Bali. I never knew of any Ashtanga studios in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Is it common in different parts of the world, or people just include Ashtanga sequences within their practices?
I think it might be, I don't know. I don't encounter many Ashtanga in the U.S. either.
Yeah. I've never, in Australia, they do certain poses, but there's no like Ashtanga
studios. But yeah, I do think it's a little more popular in different areas.
It's the first one I knew of was Samadhi.
Mm-hmm.
I remember people saying, that's an Ashtanga studio, and I had no idea what they were talking about.
So this is all very, even the
I've
term.
done all the poses,
Yeah.
But they've just been included in yoga classes.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
the full sequence.
One studio I went to years ago, it's called Yoga Works, and they had Ashtanga every morning. Yeah. They had Ashtanga every morning at like 6:30. But that was it. They just had their Ashtanga. It was like the same regular students, the same, yeah.
And what's
it's like that structure.
What's Mysore? Is that a part of Ashtanga?
Mysore?
The Samadhi have Mysore classes, and it says only intermediates allowed.
There's different series. So we're learning the primary series, which is the best one for beginners. Then there's the intermediate, advanced. There's different levels of Ashtanga.
Yeah.
But this one's got enough to work with right now. Great use, yes.
When I tried with the other foot, I started like feeling pressure here in the ankle.
So maybe you're stretching your ankle just a touch too much for your body.
So I think because I tried to put like the foot more up, and I see that the knee is also closing. So I'm wondering, should we like try to like keep it like open? Or maybe both is okay.
Yeah, you kind of find your sweet spot. I've read a lot of articles saying you kind of feel what's right for your body in this pose, because the lotus is very tricky with like your hips and such.
Usually it's not for
I had something else to say. Oh, and both sides will always be different in your body. Yeah, like my left, my goodness, my left hip is just doesn't like to do things.
Should I just reach both hands forward? Still like
I'd say, yeah, just keep one behind, because it helps keep your chest open as well, which is also something that's part of the pose. But make sure you're rolling that shoulder. Yep. All right, the next one, we're going to move on. It's also a forward fold. It's another mouthful. Triang Mukha Eka Pada Paschimottanasana. We start breaking it down. Triang is 3. Mukha, what do you think Mukha is? Yeah. And then Eka is 1. Papada is foot. Paschimottanasana is your forward fold. So you have a 3-legged forward fold, face going forward. It's So I'll take it. I'll show you here. Here, we'll say it together. Say wait. Triangmukha, Ekapada, Paschimottanasana. Great. You guys are going to be really good at saying Paschimottanasana after today. At least we have that one. So this one, I taught you Virasana last week, and that's the hero's pose where we maybe sit on a block or have our feet coming towards the side and then sitting on the floor. This pose is very similar to that pose, except one leg is going to be coming forward. And this is where you can see it's like one leg is back, 3 limbs going forward. And then you'll inhale, exhale, forward, forward, forward. If you find yourself tilting a lot due to this foot on the floor, I recommend using a block under the straight bones in line. Keep helping you work your foot to the outer edge of your glutes and keep you up straight and tall. And then you'll inhale, exhale, forward. Foot. So I'll just let you test this one out for a couple minutes. Out. Like 3. So, yeah. 3. Yeah. 3 limbs. Yeah. You want to make sure with your straight leg there's an internal rotation. Your toes are pointing towards the ceiling. You want to keep them close. But yeah.
So I noticed doing Ashtanga that even me and like every other Ashtanga teacher, they don't call the poses. I mean, they first call the poses by numbers. You always have to do that?
So she's doing that through the transitions, right?
Yeah, she starts like Eka, Chad, Triangle, whatever. I don't remember them all. But
yeah, that's how I guess a typical Ashtanga class would be led. It's so important to kind of know the names if you want to incorporate them into other classes.
okay, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not understanding your question. Then.
Like, I see that in the sequence, every pose has a number. But sometimes you don't do full sequence in an Ashtanga class. So do I have to follow the numbers?
No, I wouldn't, if you're skipping numbers, I wouldn't really say if you're teaching
Okay,
them.
so you can actually skip the numbers.
Yeah.
It's not vital.
I would definitely check in with Evelina because she's like full Ashtanga is like her life as well. I like a lot of other styles of yoga, so this would be a really good question for her, but that's my take on it.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not understanding if the numbers actually follow the numbers of the actual sequence or they just follow an ordinary, like, you just count them, how many are them, and you decide how many poses
you'll add to your class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, definitely check in with her.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, maybe one more minute here. I see most people seem finished up. Yeah.
How do you say in English, for example, if it's one asana that you're preparing you for other asana?
A preparatory. Preparatory pose, yeah. I'd say you're aspiring to get them close because Virasana, they're closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't
don't
squeeze and
them.
strain.
Yeah,
Don't squeeze and strain.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't
This is
squeeze
just
and
like-
strain.
Because-
Yeah, but they're aspiring to be close together.
Okay. As opposed to
This one also.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because then this leg's gonna start folding out. But again, women and our hips, you know. Ashtanga was actually made, the sequence was made to help 13-year-old boys sit better in school. So as we talk about our hips, the variation, they haven't been made for adult women. So we need to really take care and see how our bodies feel within the poses. But the typical Ashtanga was made to help boys sit still in school. All right, we're going to go to the next one of Janu Shirsasana. We've already done this one together, but there are two more variations to this that I just want to show you really quick in case Evelina starts talking about it and you want to work on them in class. So Janu Shirsasana A is the normal one that we've already gone over. Being careful bringing your knee into your groin. Kind of keeping your hips facing forward, up, reaching forward. Trying to get your chest to your thigh, head over toes. The second one is really good for helping activate the Mula Bandha. You're going to take your foot and sit it on your perineum, or where your perineum would be. So you're actually sitting on your foot. Heel is digging into your fun parts. They like to give it like kind of by your anus or a little in front of that as well, is where your perineum would be. So it starts activating. You have your Mula Bandha engaged. And then you fold forward. Yeah, I'm sitting on top of my foot. So the heel is actually digging it in kind of between the vagina and anus. And then you're folding forward. Yep, just like Janu Shirsasana. And you can always, you don't have to do that. You can always work with it in A. And if you want to go to Janu Shirsasana C, this one it's kind of on your toes. So you see my feet are flexed. It's like a little toe sit. Turning the knee outwards. And then having the toe, it's a little difficult for me right now, in against your thigh. So you're doing a toe squat. It almost feels like lotus, so you want to be very careful with your knee here. A is the classical version we learned last week. B is the yes. Yes. Yeah. Mhm. Yep. Sitting in. And then C is the toe squat. It wants you to stay a little outside. Yeah. It's for that pose. Yep. And then you might need to sit on a block because your toe's lifting you up. Yeah, but that's exactly how the foot will be. Like your thigh fits right into your arch. Yes, square, square-ish. Like so, Janu Shirshasana, we're working on square hips. So you're sitting on your perineum. It's gonna naturally come in a little bit. Did you feel that, or did you go out?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so yeah, and a lot of articles I've read and looked at videos for this pose. It'll say you'll kind of decide in between, like, but keep 90 and a little more close. You'll figure out what's right for you because this is, yeah.
Okay, like this is supposed to be B.
Yeah, it actually even more straight.
It's supposed to be B.
Yes. Maybe be in the up in the butt. I don't know.
Like this.
Yeah, but so you'll have your toe is actually going to be kind of cupping your thigh.
The what?
Your heel is cupping your thigh.
Oh my god. So it's not in the funny.
No. You won't be sitting on yourself there. But it's yeah. But be careful because you still have the lotus-ish leg, and you want to take care of your knee.
Yeah.
Sitting on something if you need, or just kind of starting to work the rotation of your hip joint here, pointing your toes down towards the floor.
Like this? Or
Yeah, similar, but how's your
I don't
hips?
have the half nut.
Yeah. So see, yeah, I have tight hips. Lotus, I try to take really care. So you either maybe work just right here, or start like just working your toes stand without, or sit on a block, and that'll help you make sure the knee is pointing downwards. Yeah. Yep.
Where I'm supposed to feel it here? Where I'm supposed to feel it?
Where do you feel it? You're still getting a stretch here.
Yes.
You're activating your mula bandha. This is coming towards the floor. Your quadricep will be engaged as well, so kneecap lifts up. How does that feel?
I feel this leg. I don't feel that. I feel this leg, the arms.
Yeah. Yep.
And the
And up here.
toes are just like we're doing B. Like our foot is
Yeah, you're just sitting on your foot.
toes kind of stick out wherever.
Yeah, and that can be in different position depending on the flexibility of your foot. But you actually want to be a little more on top.
A little more
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
like that.
Yes.
Okay. So uncomfortable.
I know.
This is the worst.
That's why just choose your journey. I just wanted to like show you because you have A, B, and you have A, B, and C here.
Just to be aware that they exist.
Yeah.
But is it something that you are aspiring towards, or is it just?
They're just different variations. So, but Evelina might bring it up in a class. She'll have you move your feet. They all activate very different things. Your toe, your perineum, and just a regular stretch. So they're all very different in their own way. They're just kind of very similar in their position, so they have the same name, A, B, and C.
And actually, now when it's my like,
I think that's the continuation. You just sit down first in Konasana, and then
Beautiful, yeah. You'll eventually, when you start having more flexibility here, the toes will start coming closer to your body. But yeah, that's a really wonderful place to be.
stay there for now.
How does that feel on your toes?
Are you sure that is good for this? For the body?
You'll-
The ankle?
Is it rotate? Are you rotating a little bit?
But
You feel it in your knees. So you're gonna just.
that's where it's not pain. I just asking because I see all these.
Yeah, this is really good for the fascia in your feet.
And so
And you can also practice here. You can just sit here
Okay.
and practice your toe.
You can
toe squat to make it start feeling better. And
You
like
know,
a,
when they do shatsu, they do shatsu like that.
yeah.
The shatsu therapy.
I don't really know what shatsu.
Shatsu,
Yeah.
the Japanese massage.
Aha.
You know,
I can
shatsu,
definitely
that
see.
is like, yes, like
And they have you sit like this?
the therapist has to be sit like that.
Ah.
So
Very
they
interesting.
are grounded, but the spine is aligned.
As elongated.
And but at the same time, they are working with
Underfoot. Very cool. I'm gonna have to look into that. Yeah, no. Let me actually tell everybody. Okay, so if you almost have Johnny Sirsasana C and a twist within your this like this for a couple minutes a day will start opening your feet. Really good for the fascia in here, for the toes, and just releasing any stuck and stagnant energy, moving our toes in this different way. I even, whenever I'm in like classes or training, sometimes I'll sit like this and try to listen to the teacher just to really start feeling in while I'm doing something else. You want to make sure though when you do this, you're touching all 10 toes on the floor. Your pinky will sometimes get stuck, so you want to make sure to unstick it to your fourth foot and make sure that is getting some work into. All right, the next pose we're coming into is the Marichasana series. Marichasana, the name doesn't really have much to do with how the pose looked. It's just named after a sage, Maharishi, I believe, when all this was being created. So, Marichasana. I think it's a fun one. Yeah. Actually, Nord, can I use you for this one? Well, there's a lot of open. So, asana. He'll pull his left leg in. You're going to stay. Your heel will be about a hand print away from your genitals. Yep. He'll sit up tall with a straight. I've found just throughout my practice, it's one of the ones to keep your spine straightened. So always make sure you're using a cushion or prop if you're starting to round. Because everything is hugging in and hugging his knee in towards his chest. Just stay here with the internal rotation of this thigh, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. But if you're able to forward fold, he'll inhale his arm up and exhale his left arm. So we'll come. We'll come towards his foot. So that's one option. Option 2, we'll inhale again. He'll bring his left arm around his back, binding his right arm with his left, and fold forward. That's it. Yeah, and then you might splay a little out to the side because you're trying to get your chest in between. And if your knee is there, you're not going to be able to get your chest on the right side of your knee. Inhale up. Thank you. Thank you so much. So that's where you might work today for Mary No.
Thank you so much. Got so confused.
Okay, so that's Marichasana A. It's the forward fold, knee in towards chest. Marichasana B, so is going to be a forward fold as well. Actually, but it's in the knee. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Right, so you'll bring the leg around, sorry.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So bring it in and then right, or behind, yeah. Marichasana B, So inhale up. Oops, inhale. And then exhale, forward fold. Right. And then either bind his arm around or stay folding forward. And here it's natural for the hip to raise just slightly, but if it's raising too much, just know you might need a block on the other side. All right, thank you. Huh? D? Did I? D. Yeah, the C and D are going to a couple moments, and then I'll show you how to get into the twist. And we'll be walking around with any help. There's a lot of thinking involved with these ones. They're very twisted up, even when you're just forward folded. These ones are just the forward. A and B are forward folds, and we'll get to C and D. They're going to be twists with the same leg position. Yeah. Yeah, very nice.
Then I push up, or that I feel stretch here, right? Or where should I?
Yeah. There. It's quite like works on your balance too. Same setup as Konasana A, except we're gonna add a twist. So yeah. So he's gonna bring his, remove the sit bone, the flesh, come up. Yeah. Inhale, coming up, and exhaling over his leg. That's version A. Actually, that's version B. Version A is to just hug your knee into your chest. Yeah. Next step would be bringing the elbow over the hand, over the knee. Sorry. And next phase will be doing a bind behind. Yes. C and D are twists. And Marichasana, C. Okay, and then D, you can just bring the, yeah, but actually, again, you can also have a lotus leg with that one, which I didn't show on the other side. Okay. Bringing the knee up. You're going to be, if you do notice, you're going to be a little unbalanced. And then starting your twist. But again, I just keep your knee into your groin until you get the full twist, until you get your body steady, until your hips feel open. And whenever we twist, you want to make sure you lift up. Remember, we always extend first, and then on the inhale, exhale, twisting on over. For which one? We're doing that. You're doing a forward fold, so then we're coming into a twist next. I'll come over here. Okay, go ahead and practice just for a few moments. Oh. So that's your forward fold. Yeah. should put inside. That gives you some cozy. Yeah. So then, but is the inhale coming up? Sorry, under your bind. Just a moment. Inhale, everything up, and then your twist is going to be around this leg, coming that way. So go the opposite way. Does that make sense?
And it goes inside?
Inside or over. Actually, doesn't matter. Yep. And your forward fold one comes over the other way. Right.
Inside, we getting the legs away as we want to have it closer.
You want to keep it close, but if you're, it depends what you're working with. And that's your twist one. Forward fold comes this way, twist will come around it the other way. You're welcome. Hope that clarified. Hi. It's a confusing pose. There's like so many different.
Mostly because it doesn't relate to the other poses. Like you said, it's in lotus this time.
So I didn't want to teach the bending because I felt like it was already too much to. So this can be in lotus. Having your knee bent, I don't necessarily do lotus. So that'd be folding forward, and would be going around. Or
just
keep it in close to your body.
Saref has a photo with full Ashtanga with a full lotus and a vine.
She got a lot of crazy stuff on there.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah, it's like
I like want to know if she was a dancer.
So the difference between C and D is just one leg is straight.
Right, and
Or like
straight leg.
or
And like,
bend or in lotus if you can.
if you can.
Okay.
Which
So
I
it's the new CD thing or just a different variation of the
just a variation. Yeah. But again, lotus is tricky for people, and it's not the safest. So I wanted to let you know where we're going with it, but it's getting close into the mind. How are you?
I'm trying to understand something.
This is a very complex pose. So yeah, this is actually great. Shows you the stages: modification, holding in, bind, full bind, and then lotus coming around, if possible.
But I don't understand how she see me, but because if I let understand, means what
Close.
like right here. For me,
It's so close to the body.
I don't see that she squeezing leg. You see?
Here and here.
Yeah. She do like this.
It's a forward fold and the twist.
It's different.
Like, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Or maybe it's different.
What is this one?
Because I don't know, like
Yeah.
it looks like a skirt, and she's Ashtanga teacher.
Yeah.
She cannot
Keep it in.
how it's
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at no, it doesn't look right. Thank you. I was trying to see what didn't look right about him. In the demonstration.
Because it's in this case
Yeah.
it's very, very different. If you do these, it's also
Because in Mary Chasana we are just bringing her knee in. I'm going to make a clarification. I think our demonstration was a little bit confusing for Mary Chasana. I think we had, and I didn't catch that. So he crossed it over, and you just keep it in, and they'll help you with the fold or the end twist. Huh? help you with folding forward? Yeah, yeah. Here and then twist. And then I think variation, I'm talking classically, but B is forward fold. D, because if you're working towards lotus, you won't be able to get in if it's crossed over. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's just going to stay close to body. And D. So then you just hug your knee in. All right, just a couple more, 30 more seconds here. And also different schools of yoga, things slightly differently. But right now I'm trying to teach you the Ashtanga way. And again, for Marichasana, you might, depending on your body, you might just be working with the legs straight the entire time. And that's okay. Legs straight for the twist and legs straight for forward fold. I just wanted to show you where else we're going with things. Next pose, I think you all are very familiar with. Yeah, do you have a question? I'll come to you guys afterwards. Next pose we're going to be working with is Navasana. To start with Navasana, you'll start with Navasana. You want to remove the flesh of the sit bones from underneath your body. And you want to try to balance on your sit bones. It's really important you keep your back straight here, so shoulders rolling down your back, sitting up straight and tall. And then to begin, you can just grab hold of the backs of your legs. You can also, if you have people working on Navasana, have them just work with one leg up and one leg straight, pointing your toes. And this is a perfect place to practice if you're working on core strength. Depending, a lot of people feel like they're not doing it right if they can't get their knees straight and that they're not working their abs that much. It's depending on how straight your knees can get is actually in your hip flexors. It doesn't have to do with your ability to do the pose. It has to do with how open your hips are and how strong they are. So you'll get just as good of a workout here as if just straightening it completely. And if you do want to work on complete leg, you can always hold just gently the backs of your legs. You just don't want to be like this in Navasana, you know? Navasana, you want to get that, straight. So you roll your shoulders back and down, having that straight spine. Balancing on your sit bones, not going too far onto your low back and not going too far forward coming onto your legs. Point toes. Again, you can work here. You can even work here, or here, and then straight. Yeah, yeah. And it's called boat pose. So you want to come on, so sit a little straighter up onto your sit bones. Beautiful. And Navasana will really help you with all your inversions. Yeah. So I think some of you guys wanted some extra core work. Just add this at the beginning or end of your classes. Just sitting in Navasana. Well, yeah, keeping your spine straight will automatically start strengthening your back. Hip flexors. And get some of your legs too. All right, looks like everyone's had a bit enough of the Navasana. We'll go on to Baddha Konasana, which we went over last week. There's just an A, B, and C version for the Ashtanga series that I want to show you. Baddha Konasana, yeah, the butterfly pose, so bound angle. Oops. So you'll start with either on your block if you need, or sitting on the floor. And I believe you've done this one with Evelina. Yeah. So A, you're aspiring to get your full chin onto the floor. You'll open your feet like a book to help bring your thighs open and aspiring to get your chin towards the floor. B, you're coming down, your head is coming down towards your feet. And C is just having a straight back. Yeah. Yeah. So A, in order to be able to get your chin to the floor. Your chin to the floor. No, not that close. So A is chin to the floor. So more or less aspiring to get your face here. Yeah, you're closer than I am. B is getting your head to your feet, forehead to your toes. And C is just sitting up straight and tall. Getting that firmness of the spine. Yeah, at a certain point you will be rounding the spine, but you want to go flat, 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 flat as much as you can without rounding. And if you do start rounding, just start hanging out where you are and then work there. Yep. You're pretty straight for now. But I would say you're going to work there rather than, because then you really start closing your chest. Yeah. She had Jara Bandha. So super straight. So if you feel that in the back of your neck, that helps make the back of your neck long. All your bandhas are in line with each other and activating. Did you have more of a question?
Well, no, I just want to make sure I understand.
Yeah.
This is a tricky one for me. And just looking it up, it looks like maybe the leg is never crossed over.
Right. Yeah, so and if you look at here,
C then will be this, and I guess I don't know if it's through or C, and then D.
I think I let it slide, and I should have caught it because in different.
The right leg is always on the right side of the leg.
Yeah.
C and D. So even though it's a twist, and you're kind of like, oh, this makes sense, right?
Right, exactly, close to your body.
Straight, because it's composed.
Right.
I guess you're like, so that's, and then and same like this is one option.
Is it? Well, no. That one would be hard. Yeah. When you're crossed like this, right?
There.
Yeah, and
So I'm kind of like, is that chaturanga? I'm like, that doesn't look like a very good chaturanga.
No, because I think he's doing knees, chest, chin, maybe here. Oh no, that's A. No, that's chaturanga.
It
Maybe.
should be, but it looks like cobra. This is not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's his chaturanga. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the picture. But at least for the foot, I think.
Yeah. So that can be, clarify that right leg's always on the right, left leg's always on the right for this particular.
We cleared it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I was just like watching him all twisty. If I had done it, I might have felt better.
We're all like following our intuition.
Yeah.
Twist it.
Let's twist it. Let's help. Let's help our pelvis. All right, you guys are all champions for sticking with me. I know this is more not your yoga class, but it's just going over the poses that you will be doing a long time. So thank you for your good questions and your attention so far. The next one I think you went over in your adjustments class maybe. It's the wide angled seated forward fold. Did you guys do this yesterday with adjustments? So, and you had used a partner to help bring you and feel the differences? Okay, so I'll just go over it really quickly. You have that internal rotation because if you have the external rotation, your feet are going to start flopping on over to the side. You want to make sure to remove the flesh of your sit bones and then sitting on a block or padding if you need to fold forward. And you're going to fold forward with a flat back until you can't fold forward anymore and just kind of hang out wherever that might be. It's also really helpful if you are aspiring to get to the floor. You can place a block underneath, put a block on your head. Yeah, Upavishta Konasana. And just so you know, I'm not sure how much I'll do this one in class. But if you can imagine, Supta means lying down. So Supta Konasana, you start like rocking in Ashtanga. Rocking on your back and coming up. So that's why it starts going Supta Konasana is up, coming all the way up. And then again, flat back. And then you dump forward into the forward one. And that those ones kind of go together. And then I'll show you. Actually, we go to Supta Padangusthasana. I'm going to skip Supta Padangusthasana for a moment. We'll back to it. And I want to show you these last two, Ubaya Padangusthasana and Urdhva Mukha Paschimottanasana. They're kind of similar. Ubaya Paschimottanasana is Paschimottanasana, just balancing on your sit bones here. And then Urdhva Mukha Paschimottanasana is getting your face down, is fully closing it while being upright. So I want to show you guys those all together since they're Baddha Konasana. Yeah. For the purpose of time, I a few of the ones that you probably won't be much in class. Yeah, looking very good. So you'll kind of be, and that takes a lot of core, and I feel too close. I'm gonna try right now here. So yeah, Supta Konasana will be sitting. Upavishta is sitting up. Mm-hmm. Closer together. Yeah. Don't reach your toes. You can use a strap. Well, to Supta, I would just stay. Practice the second version. You'll just take your big toe or take the strap and start bringing it slowly out to the outside. But make sure you're just not flopping and turning your pelvis towards the floor. If your leg falls too easily to the floor, you might want to use a block to help prop it up so you're feeling into the pelvis. This is Supta Padangusthasana 12 on the list. I did these two, they had the same motion, Upavishta Konasana, Supta Konasana, Ubhaya Padangusthasana. Very important to keep the laying leg floor. And if your hands are free, you can use your free hand to press it on the femur bone of your lying down leg, helping get the feeling of that leg on the floor. Yeah, just like that. You want to make sure your navel stays pointing to the ceiling. It will rotate a little bit, but you want to do your best to keep your core straight. Yeah, that looks great. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. You guys are getting a lot of information today, so way to go. Sticking with it. Yeah, so for you, I would put this hand on top of the thigh to really start pressing this thigh down and internally rotating. Yeah, okay. It'll help you from lifting up a bit. You feel a little difference?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a pulled muscle here.
Okay, so be gentle.
I've had it for a while.
Before the training?
Yeah. I don't know how to get it out.
Yes, for super open, I would even play so you can work on lift it up just slightly, so you can work on your strength and pulling the hip into the socket. How does that feel? A little awkward? Or I'd bring it even more to the hip. Let me see. But yeah, that's actually in different versions of such. And you want to make sure your pelvis is starting to tilt a little bit. Yeah.
Good, press it.
And you want to the motion is drawing it into the hip socket, and that's why the block will be helpful for you here because you're extra flexible. Because you want to keep that glute engaged. So do you see? And then now take this away, and then it feels okay. So to help work the strength in this pose, you'll use a block, or just keep that in mind. The block will just help you get the feeling. Yeah. What I would do for you here, I would take the strap in different hands. You can start opening your chest more. Yeah, so you were getting a little crunched, yeah?
This here enters the pose, goes back and enters the pose differently, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's like rock back and forth.
Yeah, that's what I was telling them. It's a rocking sensation to transition. But I'm not sure how much you'll do that one with Evelina either. Yeah. And that's why I kind of just grazed over them.
So you rock only once to enter the pose, or is it rocking constantly?
No, there'll be maybe a few motions. Yeah. But it really works on, it's more core exercise there.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Stay on the ground. Nope. It's about keeping your both pelvis on points on the ground. And yeah, right. And then if you are super flexible, well, here I would, to help keep this pelvis on the ground, I like to keep my hand here for a while. And then if people are just flopping all the way over, I like to tell them to put a block there. I was just telling Julia this, put a block there, and then you can work on the strength of this pose, bringing the glute in, bringing the femur into the hip socket.
You're supposed to help with the standing one. Remember? Yeah.
I actually had you practice this one before we went into the standing one.
Which time was it?
So I skipped
Yeah.
Supta Dhwan Supta Padangusasana. Shavishta Konasana is this one. And then Supta Konasana is rocking.
So this is
Supta
the leg
Padangusasana.
out and out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't have two different versions, so it's kind of like A and B.
Yeah.
How does that feel? That looks really good. It really starts helping rotate the hip in a really gentle way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you might want to work on a strap here, and it's a perfect position. Yeah.
Is it completely possible for me to do this?
Yeah, eventually it'll start.
Because this leg will be so loose.
It'll be loose, and so will your shoulder. And I guess it also depends on the length of your arm in comparison to your leg. So bone structure as well.
And is any like
a tiny micro bend and then use the strap, I'd say. But if you don't have a strap available, yeah, of course, bend the knee a little bit. It's super open hips. How does that feel? Just a bit engaged, and then what I've been telling people with open hips, yeah, use the blocks there to help you to keep it from going out too far, and really feel the femur coming into the hip socket and engaging the glute.
And then where I should be feeling it here is.
Yeah, that looks much better.
Okay, yeah. No,
yeah. Mhm.
Where should I feel it?
Where do you feel it?
I feel it like on the
Yeah, I would feel it here and down here
yeah,
as
and
well,
a little bit here.
and on your insides as well. Yeah. 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 Mhm. And when you're using the strap, use it with two hands. Eventually move it in.
Over here, it's really hard, like almost impossible to come up.
And then yeah, so then maybe pull your knees in and then have it come up, and grab it to go up. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Starting from the ground up.
Yeah. Then I would just grab your thighs in and work there.
How is it supposed to be?
Actually, I'm not quite sure which different body type. I don't even know if Evelyn is going to teach you the rocking bit. I just wanted to show you which. All right, last pose. The last pose will be Setu Bandhasana or Setu Bandha Sarvangasana is the longer version, the version I'm saying. And this is going to be, for the this is going to be shoulder bridge, which I think you've already gone over. It's a slight back pose of the seated sequence before the finishing sequence. So you'll see the finishing sequence, if you look at your chart, we'll start with Urdhva Dhanurasana. So this is basically a little preparatory pose for that one. And I actually did it in class with you yesterday. You start with your knees bent about a hand's distance from your heels. Ground feet are parallel. Big toes are firmly pressing into the ground. The upper thighs are internally rotating. And then on your inhale, you'll just bring your hips up. And then you'll start rolling your shoulders underneath your body clasping hold hands. And they called it reclining Sarvangasana shoulder stand. So you get that Jalandhara Bandha here, you get that lock. And you want to make sure a lot of people, you'll see a lot of kids in your students in your class will open them like this. And you want to just make sure, draw them in, keep your toes flat on the ground. Reaching your hips as high as they can go. Rolling shoulders under. And it's very important there for back bends like that. And whenever you're locked, we don't want to move our neck in any which way. So I'll let you guys practice that for maybe 2 minutes, and then we'll finish up into our Savasana. Yeah, it's bridge. Setu Bandhasana. Yeah. I taught you the very beginner version of this. I talked.
Which is like the hop. No, what's the name?
Are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where this pose aspires to, but Pee-wee's like, why don't you just teach them the...
Okay, instead we do like the, what's the name of what we do? The bridge? No.
Shoulder bridge.
Shoulder bridge. So what is this, like fish pose?
So yeah, it's a fish pose, but sort of open.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think she'll be teaching that one. Huh? Bandhasana? Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. Get used to the block too. The rock back. Yeah. And you know what? I think she's going to teach that much, but since we were already in the sitting up posture of it, I just wanted to show you what the other ones meant. What the... It's core. So Navasana. Navasana, Navasana. And yeah. So wherever you are, we'll just start winding down, having a quick Shavasana before we head to breakfast. So if you haven't already, we'll then lie on your backs. Taking note of how your body's feeling. Soaking in all the knowledge you just learned, all the information. It's turning into knowledge. Seeing how your body feels after twisting and turning and folding in all these new positions. tuning into your breath. And maybe trying to make your breath just a little bit deeper. Maybe we'll take it one big deep inhale together here. And exhale, sighing everything out. Inhale here. And sighing everything out. Coming back to normal breathing. And just noticing each body part gently melting into the earth, feeling your heels and your calves, feeling your glutes, your mid-back, your shoulders, your elbows, your backs of your hands. Any muscles in your face, and finding a space you can soften even deeper. You'll slowly start deepening your breath here. Taking note of your body against the mat. And then starting to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And then rolling on over to one side. Having another quiet moment, one last moment before coming back to our day. We'll use our top arm to press us up into sitting. Finding our tall seat. Bringing our hands to heart center. Thanking yourselves for showing up this morning, for your attention, for your questions, for your inquiry. Thanking Mama Bali for hosting us. And your heart. Maybe sending love somewhere in the world to someone who needs it. And then we'll close this morning's session with one Om together. Inhaling here. Exhaling completely. And inhaling for Om. Rubbing hands together, placing them over your eyes, sealing in the knowledge that we've learned, and continuing on with an energy sweep. Namaste. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I know seated positions, it's just a lot of sitting. But in Ashtanga, you do the chaturanga, jump through between. I didn't want to do that this morning. Yeah. So have a beautiful breakfast. Remember silent time. And then Pee Wee and I